Okay, so there's been a lot of problems with the notes. I'm going to try to make a simpler video. We're on 4-20-20, 8-5 tables. Our essential question, how can we use equations to solve table problems? Our learning target, I can write an equation in slope-intercept, that's the y equals mx plus b, from a table and use the equation to solve problems. So we will still be following basically the same 3 steps. Step 1, finding m or the slope. Step 2, using our slope formula, by the way. Step 2, pick one point, use the x and y values to solve for b. Step 3, rewrite using the m and the b. All right, so for question 1, the table below shows the cost of getting pizza. Part A, write an equation in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to follow those 3 steps. Step 1 is to find the slope by picking 2 points. You can pick any points you want. I'm going to use 1, 7. And 2, 9, you don't have to use those. You could use 3, 11, 4, 13. You could use any of those. All right, then my first step, I label x1, y1, x2, y2. I am going to find my slope. Here's my slope formula, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So I get 9 minus 7 over 2 minus 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So my slope is 2. I am going to erase this part so I have a little more room. Next, step 2, I pick one point. Pick one point. I'm going to use 1, 7. I don't have to, but that's what I'm going to pick. 7 is my y. 2 is my m from over here. 1 is my x plus b. 2 times 1, right here, 2 times 1 is 2, plus b. Everything else stays. To solve for b, I have a one-step equation. 7 minus 2 is 5, so my b is 5. So my final answer, y equals 2x plus 5. I'm going to kind of highlight that just so I don't lose my answer, because I'm going to need it for everything else. Okay, question 2, how much would it cost for 7 toppings? If you look at your table, toppings here, 7 is not in your table, but I see that toppings is the variable x, so I'm going to take my equation and I'm going to make 7x. So my equation, highlighted in green up here, is y equals 2x plus 5. I am going to take that and replace the x with 7. So y equals 2 times 7 plus 5. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 5 is $19. So it'd be $19 for 7 toppings. All right, for 12 toppings, I'm doing the same thing, but I am making x 12 instead of 7. So I have the same equation, y equals 2x plus 5. I replace the x with 12. So 2 times 12, 24, plus 5, $29. All right, part C, how many toppings could you get for $20? So it's similar, but now I'm talking about dollars. In my table, I can see cost, y, dollars is y. So I'm still taking my same equation, y equals 2x plus 5. Instead of putting 20 in for x, I am making y 20. So it looks like this, 20 equals 2x plus 5. Now I have a two-step equation. I subtract 5. 20 minus 5 is 15. 5 minus 5 makes a 0. My second and my final step is to divide by 2. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. You might be able to get a half of a pizza topping. If not, you would round down to 7 toppings. For $33, I'll do that in purple. You are doing the same thing, but you are putting 33 in for y. So it should be 33 equals 2x plus 5. I subtract 5, 33 minus 5 is 28. You divide by 2, and you get 14 toppings. Okay. Question 2, write an equation. So same thing, I pick any 2 points I want. I'm going to use the point 3, 125 and 6, 200, but you can use any points that would make you happy. First step, find the slope. So I'm labeling x1, y1, x2, y2. Your slope formula, if you need that, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that should be m equals 200 minus 125 over 6 minus 3. 200 minus 125 is 75. 6 minus 3 is 3. 75 divided by 3 is 25. Then you pick 1 point. Let's go ahead and use 3, 125 just because it's smaller numbers, but you could use 6, 200 if you want. And then I need to erase, so I have a little space here. So I have y equals mx plus b. I'm using the point 3, 125. So 125 is my y, 25 is my m, 3 is my x plus b. 25 times 3 is 75. To solve, I subtract 75, subtract 75. 125 minus 75 is 50. So my answer, y equals 25x plus 50. All right, we're going to shorten this a little bit just to make sure everyone has enough time. Part B, how much would it cost to rent the car for 3 hours? Great news, if you look at your table, that is in your table. For 3 hours, it is $125. Okay, for 10 hours, 10 is not in my table. Hours is the variable x. Cost is y. So x is 10. I'm going to take my equation. My equation, I will make it green, highlighted in green, was y equals 25x plus 50. So I'm going to y equals 25. I'm going to make the x 10 plus 50. 25 times 10 is $250. Plus 50, it will be $300 for 10 hours. And we will skip 1 day. All right, part C, how many hours can you rent a car for if you have $800? Dollars cost is y. So I'm taking my equation up here, y equals 25x plus 50. Now I'm going to put 800 in for y. I subtract 50, subtract 50. 750 equals 25x. I divide by 25, divide by 25. Okay, so x equals 29. Okay, last one, write an equation for the table below. So go ahead and try that, see what you get. Pause the video if you need to. Start by finding your slope, So I'm using the first 2 points. You don't have to. I get 75 over 3, which is 25 for my m, positive 25. Then you pick a point and you plug that in. So maybe you use the point 1 and 125. 125 equals 25 times 1 plus b. See if you can solve it from there. If you need to, pause the video. 25 times 1 is 25. Solve your one-step equation. My b is 100. So my whole answer for example 3 is y equals 25x plus 100. 25x plus 100. The summary I kind of did for you just to help. To solve a table problem, first write an equation, then plug in the given numbers for either x and y and solve.